Yo, I can't wait for my friends to see this video and see me misplay and laugh at me.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Curb and I bring you another standard match. Today we're going to be continuing on with that Divine Z Set 1 content with one of the best decks coming out of this set. Actually going to be a mirror match between two Varga players. So we do actually have my teammate Ryuki on the left. And if you notice the length of the video, you can tell that this is definitely going to be a very classic Ryuki kind of match. But let's go ahead and get into the game itself. So we do have Ryuki going first, going to be just riding up, going to be passing to the opponent. Opponent's going to be swinging, getting a critical trigger there, dealing 2 damage right away from the get-go. But we do see a draw trigger being hit in that defensive there. So definitely on the right, the Varga right player is going to be a little bit ahead in this match, just because, you know, hitting that early crit is definitely going to kind of accelerate. What Varga kind of really wants to do is rush the opponent to 4 so that it can actually proc its Divine skill. So we do see the grade 1 being called out, swinging in at the Vanguard, a very nice 10k attacker that is good whether you're going first or second. We see an energy cycler being called here, swinging, and then we see the promo boosting the Vanguard. I believe that's a heal trigger that we did see procced on the right player's side, but of course they are at 1 when the damage actually happens, so they are not actually going to be able to heal. Anyways, right Varga player going to be doing the exact same thing, opting to not call anything else, and we do see a little bit of a cheat here from Ryuki. He did try and use the Energy Cycler's skill there when he intercepted, but you cannot actually do that. In order to proc the skill to draw a card, you do actually need to either discard it for ride deck or guard with it from hand. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here verifying that you do actually have to call it from the hand. But thankfully, because we did discard another one for the ride deck, I believe we didn't draw for that, but I don't remember exactly what it is, but I did calculate it in my head. We forgot to draw for, let's see, we drew for it last turn, and then what I'm trying to say is we discarded 1, we procced that skill, but we didn't actually draw for it yet, which means that we do have the exact amount of cards. So error fixed, we didn't take any damage from the last attack, so everything is right with the world. Anyways, let's get back into the match. We see Varga deploying a whole bunch of units at grade 3, the grade 2 that came out of the ride line, going to be over there, going to be giving us an extra draw, and another copy of it on the other side, making for a very strong attack here. We do see 25, which is a very difficult number to guard here, and another 28, which is also another number that's very difficult to guard. Unless you have like a 20k shield here, you're in a little bit of trouble, I would say. But we do have to decide whether we want to go to 4 here, which is kind of difficult, or something that you really should not be doing. I mean, Varga can't restand twice here because it does actually need to attack into a grade 3 or greater unit in order to actually proc the Divine skill. But we are seeing the first swing being unboosted, getting nothing off the drive check, pushing the rightmost Varga player to 4 already. So definitely things are going very much for Ryuki's way, as we do see this 38k attack, and then of course using that Impale to Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. So completely clearing our board and amassing a whole bunch of hand, basically converting all of our field advantage to hand advantage here. So we do see Varga being called. We see 2 more of the grade 2s, kind of just exactly what Ryuki did last turn, swinging in at the Vanguard. I'm going to be guarding those with 5k shields, retiring them, and then of course drawing a card. We do have that mid-hat back there. I don't know if it's the right play to put it behind the Vanguard. I know usually people will put it behind the rear guards just to make a little bit better numbers. I guess if you had put it behind one of the other rear guards, you would have gotten a nice 23, which we would call for a 15, as opposed to the 5k shields that they did actually get. Seeing the mid-hat being procced here, retiring it to draw another card, and then thinking on the second swing of the Varga, and looks like we're going to opt to not do that, which is definitely a very valid choice. I mean, you're already at 4, which means that if you give Varga that extra damage, we can see that they used the counterblast from last turn. They do need 2 counterblasts in order to go for the triple restand, or the triple Vanguard swing, the double restand which is something that's definitely not going to be happening this turn now, since you did kind of damage deny them. I suppose if you're Ryuki, you probably could have just taken like maybe one of those swings, because I mean with the mid-hap behind the Vanguard, if you had gotten a defensive on that first attack, you would have shut down the second attack. You would have made it so much easier to guard the Vanguard, could have kept some more cards in hand, and you also would have prevented them from damage denying you like this. But at the same time, I will say it's probably not going to matter that much. I mean, you're already like at a huge advantage, and them not pushing damage just makes it easier for you to live their next turn. And assuming you don't close things out this turn, you have a very good chance of closing it out next turn, because we do see them already at 5 damage. We see the energy cycler being used here, drawing a card, desperately trying to get more shield, it looks like, using a second one to draw another card. Against this 33, guarding with another 15k is going to be at 38, which is going to be a 1 to pass. Going to have to risk it on that. We see the first drive check being an over trigger, and that is definitely going to be the end of the game, because we're going to get a another 100 million to the Vanguard. It's not going to be restanding, but you know, that's going to be enough to push us to 6. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to do the things, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.